convergence of creative visions. Tonight, we're going in deep into the macabre. I'm paying for living on the bad side. Got to pay for the bitch that you could be. When the bad things come to the surface, you can bet that there will be hell to pay. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I'm in danger always. And the world is something to be seen by. God is everywhere you see, every word that comes out of the mouth of all the victims of the atrocity. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I'm in danger always. Claim the right to save the world, nothing against what you have now. Claim the right to save the world, tell your friends what it is you came for. I want y'all to come out. I hope you're tuning in. We are at Creativa, a convergence of creative vision on Facebook Live. We are on something called Twitch. But we are not gaming. We just like to Twitch because, as Tony has demonstrated to us, it turns out to be a highly effective streaming platform because obviously, if you are in Ohio, and you are having a tank battle with a guy in Afghanistan, you probably need quick response. So it's a pretty good late time. Across the wall is dead upon the battlefield. That was my vision I got from a poster when I was in college. My freshman year, I got a poster because it looked pretty. And well, this was 1981, and I had discovered that you could not smoke a joint between classes and past classes, so I had to take up smoking. But still, it wasn't until someone pointed out to me what this poster was with all this pretty bright colors in my little room with the tiny little yellow light, because I like candlelight, that it was a knight slashing bloodily his way through an entire enemy force of some kind. It was really dark and really bloody. So let's go in a completely different direction. I want to bring up the song that was introduced to me. I'm going to do a song by a Creativa alum from some years past. Her name is Sherilyn Gears, The Unamused Kraken. This is Rekindling the Fire. A little quicker than they had before. What was the flame? Now it's a flicker. I always hoped there could be more, but it requires more time than I seem to find. It requires more time than I seem to know. It requires more time than it's mine. Should I let it go? Weeks go by, they're never different. It's all just a blur. The flame is growing dimmer. I always hope it will be more, but it requires more strength than I seem to find. It requires more hope than I seem to show. It requires more dream than I can take. Should I just let it go? More than I could take. See now, but a whisper, my heart ready to break. But it requires more time. Sorry, Sheriff. Years go by, slowly dimmer. Everything never stirs. The flame remains only a shimmer. I always hope it could be more, but it requires more time than I seem to find. It requires more hope than I seem to know. It requires more light that is in my eyes. Can I just let it go? That was Rekindling the Fire by Creativa alum Sherilyn Gear. She was with this group a long time ago. She now lives in beautiful Louisville by the sea of Kentucky. So I want to wish her best and hope she does not drive all the way here to beat me up for performing that in a non-Joni Mitchell fashion. All right, we're going to bring up our host tonight, who's going to introduce our featured artist for the evening. And I don't know much about him, so we're going to let him be introduced by our friend and host for the evening and the facilitator of this thing for the last something, either is it 13 or 18?
14.
For the last 14 years, I want to please welcome Mr. Randy Bell.
Thank you. Thank you for the trip. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Creativa.
We're going to do a pratfall, you got to get serious.
I'm telling you.
You're going to flip flop.
I need to fall flat on my face. Good evening to everybody. It's wonderful to have all of you here on this rainy, stormy night in our Creativa history. Yeah, we've been doing this 14 years. It's crazy, time rolls, doesn't stop. We featured a lot of wonderful artists. We had a lot of people just show up that are incredible, wonderful human beings that stretch and fill reality with all sorts of beautiful things with their art, and it's pretty amazing. You don't have to go to LA or Chicago to find incredible art, and we certainly like to think we've added and enriched the community some over the years, and that's what this is about. We definitely have had a long-standing tradition of incredible featured artists, and Mr. Lauren the Black certainly will stand as one of them in our Creativa history. Lauren and I go back at least 20 years, and he's an upstanding citizen, goth king, prince, and Renaissance dude, really. He visual artist and musician and actor. Hell, we've even been in a movie together, and that was a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll be in some more together in the near future. But Lauren's going to come to our Creativa stage and dazzle all of you with his incredible music and performance. And I think that Screamin' Jay will be smiling, and probably Ted Burton will be smiling for some reason or another. He'll figure out something's going on in the world that's making me happy. Anyways, Lauren is definitely cut from those influences, and I want y'all to make Lauren feel very welcome to our Creativa stage. Put your hands together. Lauren the Black.
Thank you, Randy.
Absolutely.
Thank you, young Stephen, for opening. See if I can raise the mic just a touch. I'll put my security blanket down. He's lost his head. It's not the first time. Oh, that's delightful. Yes, I call him DJ because he's dead. And his skull has officially rolled under the stage, so I'll wait till after the show so we get it. Good evening, thank you for attending. It's been at least a decade since my last Creativa, sorry. And back then it was open mic night without even mics, and that was pretty scary. Since then I have been the lead figure for a band of pirates called Band of Pirates. We wish them well. I have served aboard the USS Nightmare as the most photographed lifelike vampire for several seasons. And then later on I'll tell you about a show I get to do in California once a year or so. And as Randy implied, I do focus on the macabre. It's what happens when you share a birthday with Bela Lugosi and Snoop Dogg, but that's not a musical we cover tonight. But we're going to start things off a little bit lighter. And as I said, it's really good to be welcome back. I work affordably. I'm an MC for local dance performers and abroad as well. I've sung at weddings, and I'll just give you a little bit of a frog in my throat to be here tonight. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, a rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Well, somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, for what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, a rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailor? A voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's someplace that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, a rainbow connection, the lovers, our dreamers, and me.
Magnifico, was I wrote doing Franca's voices.
This has never been attempted in front of a live crowd before, so hello out there on Twitch and any Disney Henson associated lawyers. I'm available. So for your enjoyment, if you've never attempted in front of a live audience, it's called Crossing the Bridges. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a place that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you're there to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, two birds fly over the rainbow. Why, no, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? And we complete our Frog Trinity trilogy, Frogages. This is a childhood favorite of mine that I would listen to before I even saw the program. It was a Jim Henson show that predated The Muppet Show and not quite Sesame Street. And last time I flew to California, I performed this with the local puppeteer who provided a fearsome creature, and it was in a full red velvet theater, just like The Muppet Show. But for those of you who are of an age of, you won't have heard of this, but look it up. They call me Sir Robin the Brave, and history one day will rave. He's valiant and daring and noble of bearing, courageous and gallant, a mountain of talent. No wonder folks curtsy and wave for Robin, Sir Robin the brave. My tale is sad, but I will try to tell it all before I cry. 'Twas long ago and far away, a cold and cheerless winter's day, and in my search for deeds to do, to prove my bravery through and through, I chanced upon a forest glen, and there I met an ogre. His teeth were long, I fear to tell, with muscles strong and dreadful smell. He looked at me, he wished me dead. I looked at him, and then I said, they call me Sir Robin the Brave, and history one day will rave. He's valiant and daring and noble of bearing, courageous and gallant, a mountain of talent. No wonder folks curtsy and wave for Robin, Sir Robin the Brave. With sword in hand I circled round, he leapt at me with mighty bound, but as he charged I slipped away. He turned to strike, I did not stay. With fearful thrust I forced him back, and ready for the last attack, I raised my sword for one great lunge, when suddenly it happened. A wretched witch, a ghastly hag, with eyes of pitch and dress of rag, she glared at me and bared a fag. I smiled at her and bravely said,
they call me Sir Robin the Brave, and history one day will rave. You're valiant and daring, a noble of wearing, with great time too, sir. A prince, oh not you, sir. I'll make you a stone or a log, or maybe Sir Robin the Frog. I'm valiant and daring, and noble of bearing, courageous and gallant, mountain of talent. No one will curtsy nor wave. For now, I'm just Robin the Frog.
And now over my legs. It's better with puppets, trust me. Everything's better with puppets. And perhaps I can take a break and find my head that I lost. But before we go, I will end my first set with a bit of a calling card. And for those of you who did not catch the name, they call me Lauren the Black. No idea why. To be balanced in this body, not just a hollow body, as empty as a hole. With the destiny I'd relish, be it heavenly or hellish, if I only had a soul. Life could be a kind of magic, from comical to tragic, I'd master every role. And give up being callous to have mercy or have malice, if I only had a soul. This life of mine might intertwine with those among the common man. I could save the world or hatch an evil plan to end it all, because I can. I would not be one for judging, forsaking or begrudging the one who grants my goal. Wouldn't lose it in a deal, up or down I keep it real, if I only had a soul.
Nice.
There will be more of me later, but for now, less.
Awesome, thanks man, that's awesome. I always love watching you perform.
Oh, my skull there.
gets
Yeah.
onto the stage.
Methinks the gentleman has lost his head.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, me too, daily. Man, so if any of you out in the audience see a head rolling around, will you say something to us, please?
I always safe in the dark.
That's just weird. I think it's disappeared. Maybe
I'm
it
not
went
sure he's underneath in the back.
sucked up into some other dimension and spat back out somewhere.
He's way back.
Yeah. Do you see it? Can you crawl beneath the stage, Tony? He's gonna crawl beneath the stage. If he gets stuck, we're gonna have to. There's the head. That was awesome.
Dear, thank you, sir.
Oh wow, what a wonderful way to begin our evening. I'm gonna do a few poems, and I think I might invite either John or Tony to do next. What are you thinking about maybe performing?
I'll go ahead.
Oh, awesome, great. Yeah, Lauren encouraged you with this wonderful performance. Yeah, I guess
That's the
influence.
best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's see here. All right, I got some poems for you. I entitled this one. Wrote it a number of years ago. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll go with something else. Okay, this one's a little bit of a long one, but bear with me. It's called For the Love of Valley. Back on grass, earth, revolving around the sun. Tight center, chaos plasma jets reaching to hold the mad planets. Zipping through post-cosmic orgasm that for a moment was a camera burst in our eyes. We were stars then, supernovas exploding in the night. There was nothing that could be withheld then. We nearly fell in front of that fire, interdimensional flames, two gods finding each other for the first time, and daring anything else to matter. We matter. We fight in this space-time epic, and eons like suns are rolling shot center, slingshot into our pinball destiny. After we, too, tripped into sleep, the kind that examines love like the sun. And there, too, there were x-rays, my essence revealed my insanity, that in these streets narrow in Paris I stumbled insane. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I feel fine. My arms waved in the gaslight, and to the moon I made a vow. I give the first watch of the night to the red planet Mars. When love's light reaches you, it will have been for thousands and thousands plus years. We realize the light is offered by the dead, like zombies hanging in the Milky Way. Massive balloons looming over dripping hordes at Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Meanwhile, back in America, he's watching TV and she's feeding the cats. The radio is on and Orson Welles is a psychic vigilante announcing that as we are buying and selling houses and cars, soup cans and laundry detergent, we are being monitored. Owls methodically, systematically, more scientific than science, while we are swimming gaily in petri dishes, mesmerized by praying mantis heads moving in slow motion. I'm running away. It can't go down this way. Some of us thought that love would save us. The TV dinner has been scraped clean. She is tossing it away. They have to get up early for work. The radio is left on. Flying saucers are cutting the night wide open. Beefy ape hands are coming through, dripping with hearts, corn syrup blood. Back on grass, fall, leaves scattered on the sky, birds in flight instinctively. Love skipping pebbles across the creek like my heart instinctively beats to the cosmic vibration. Like George Jones crooning again about a day in the life of a fool. From cigarette-yellowed jukebox, old guy, flannel beard at bar next to me raises mug, and he whispers, love is the creative impulse. These words are brought forth from some, I'm stuck here, nether space ether that joins us all. We birthed it, we dispose it all like snakes eating ourselves. Those words flying like leaves against the sky, that sky that witnesses it all. Eyes reflect its Zen presence for the first time and for this last time. Oh, and love too allows birth and quietly permits the sleep that absorbs galaxies. The Lakota songs are rising steadily from the earth, one drum beat. The hunter strong and sure, the lovely woman emerges from a white calf. 7 sacred ceremonies, and I'm on a vision quest. The white buffalo are here. We have reached the end of the world. Joan of Arc joins the battle. When the white buffalo stand mighty, we have reached the end of the world. And I see the edge, and instinctively I must run. For love, I must run. And like Joan of Arc, we must reclaim our lands from obedient Babbitt men. With John Boehner haircuts, I'll tell you when I wrote this. Like John Boehner haircuts, they all live in Westchester. The suits are getting ready to throw up their hands while cash is stuffed into silky, smoking jackets. Formaldehyde, tar, ammonia, and arsenic cocktails are being passed around. The Gang of 7 has a contract with the universe. It's all clones and drones. Please place the gas mask on. And attention, the sirens are sounding like 1,000 hubcaps twirling. Entire families are being shaken, not stirred in the calm of the night. And love, oh, where is love? Mario the Marxist will save us with his spectacular codpiece impaling the world. You will not find virgins in Italy. And Dracula's roaming the planet now. Cholera things out. Meteors are glowing scarlet on farms everywhere. Lasers are removing crop circles like tattoos. Plan 9 is being implemented, and TV screens are displaying Magenta's busty lips. Dana Andrews set prunes, gave him the runes, and passing them used lots of skills. When worlds collide, said George Powell to his brides, I'm gonna give you some terrible thrills. Like a science fiction double feature, Dr. X will build a creature. We were rushing to the polls in the year 2104, and Ken Wilber's cryogenically frozen and cloned head will most definitely become the next president. You slipped in the rainwater, and this time I fell with you. It's all bliss and oblivion, you and I. We were doing angels in the snow. We'll follow it up with hot chocolate and marshmallows. A child sees it all in his telescopes. Thank you very much. That ended abruptly. I think I'm actually missing a page. Just to make it even fucking more cryptic than it already was. Like, oh my God, what does it all mean? Exactly, what does it all mean? I don't know. I mean, I never understood Michael Stipe's lyrics either. I was inspired by them. You know, it's kind of abstract. All right, the honored life. This one's more easy to follow. He never choked on a question gone wonderfully awry. He wasn't one to guffaw. His was the way of the straight shooter. Everything he did was a direct line. And yes, he starched and ironed his blue jeans. His woman knew this about him, and so did his friends and coworkers, in a matter of speaking. His lack of ornamentation made them feel secure. John's life would make the tightest ritual jealous. He did everything in sync, timed to perfection and planned. Whether taking a shit, reading the paper, doing his job, or banging the woman, all to the T. It's why no one would have possibly expected June 15th, 1979, when John walked into his workplace, where he had very predictably and effectively programmed for precision sold life insurance, walked through the front doors of that sunny summer morning in his stained Fruit of the Looms and blew his machine brain into oblivion.
with a 12-gauge shotgun. The cogs and wires flew everywhere. His cranium was splayed through and through. The tight plastic wad gave way, a universe itself exploding into silence, lead balls demanding answers that no one else could give but John. And all those answers left with him too. Thank you very much. Such a cynical poem. It's actually a commentary on the American dream, if you will. Let's see. I'm going to do one more poem. Okay. We come in peace. Shove a handful of incense into a soft candle for inspiration, grounding, center. Wondering what there is about wasted days and wasted nights. I'm limp, a real sock puppet dancing in the winds of this radioactive city, a cosmic gimp emerging from the orifice of gonzo reality, and you, stranger, reached out for friendship. Sent me a messenger from Facebook land. He said something about getting to know each other kindly. I was reticent, but mostly slack-jawed on B-side expectations. Almost 8 billion naked monkeys on this planet, clamoring for attention. What are you selling? Couldn't help myself. Aren't we all peddling something? Goffman wrote a book about it. And Dale was sublime correct. You don't know me. My belly is trembling, skull rotating, hands sweaty, breathing in the possibilities. Here's the thing. Tonight I might execute plans for that neighborhood takeover. Door-to-door Satan for your good Samaritan well wishes. It's midnight. A strange sculpture of a large blue hand appeared overnight in Johnson's Park. Locals are flocking to it in droves, drawn by some unseen force. No one is speaking. Neighborhood pets have gone missing. There is a rumor that Father Tom is to blame. He's just not been acting the same. The gods reach for each other, Sharpie drawings on a teenager's ceilings. He's got 50 friends on Xbox and a woman 1,000 miles away in Reno who attends a community college there. They might meet up someday, okay? You want to get to know me. Have I enough middle fingers for this idea for my own? Jump on me, I'm a trampoline. I watch enough true crime to understand the predictability of this plot. They were friends. On December 6th, John rode with Ted, Sue, and Kennedy to Parkland Forest for what appeared to be a small party, but the festivities ended in tragedy. Little did John realize that these peers, whom he had known since grade school, would turn on him. Local authorities were called out on December 8th by campers who reported what they initially thought was a mangled deer. Roughly half of John's body has been found. After extensive interrogation, the three youths admitted to consuming their long-standing friend. If you died tonight, where would your soul go? Where would you spend eternity? My life has become a Jack Chick gospel tract. I'm staring at a faceless Jehovah. Hey there, bub, are you ready to accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior? Well, inquiring minds want to know why Jesus always needs a buddy. It would help to have some visibility, I think. think. People should know we're here. I overheard this at a Panera yesterday, some sort of pyramid scheme in the works at the table next to me. These people, have they got a deal? Meanwhile, I just about sat down in that tub with a razor. We are falling to the charred earth. We have rocked Daddy's rowboat, and he's pissed. Threw a bunch of lightning bolts and holy curses, words I didn't even know existed. It was on a sleepy summer afternoon in June 1976 when Sue began to suspect Bob, her genteel husband of 5 years. It wasn't lipstick on his lapel, nor a strange feminine scent from his jacket, but rather that duffel bag of zip ties, duct tape, and chloroform, and the strange habit which he had recently acquired of grinding toothpicks, incessantly so at times, between his upper and lower central incisors. Later, during press interviews, Sue would shake her head in slow motion and lament the ignorance of the woman under their basement and in their walls. 75 and counting. Bob was always like a fresh newspaper, friendly handshake, and generous to the core of the church. Why? How could she imagine or predict such nightmares that would later broadcast to the four corners of the globe? Media pinned the name the toothpick killer because apparently Bob would insert toothpicks into the eyes of his victims after murdering them. We are vagabonds, wanderers, voices echoing in the white noise of a CD radio, shadows in an Edward Hopper painting. Will we find each other? Do we even want to? No, I don't want to be friends. I don't always play nice. And I sleep with a hatchet under my pillow. Okay? Thank you very much. Yes, I am a social worker, by the way. I think it's about time for John Kramer. How do you feel about that, John? You ready? John, so here's the thing about John. It doesn't matter what John's doing at any time of day. He could have rolled into Creativa or just be wherever, and he's ready to fucking slam some poetry. All right, so I want you to all make a ruckus for John freaking Kramer.
All right, let's see what's going on here. On the spot. Somebody could just pick a number between 1 and 350.
28.
Yeah.
28. If this poem sucks, it's your fault. Let's see. Oh, this was actually my art years. This was my first attempt as an artist. This was when I was in rehab, and there's visual effects. But this poem is called Boobs, Bellies, and Butts. Number one.
I love that.
Number one. A man once thought he was dead. Turns out it was all in his head. From his lower down height, he had a new line of sight. And a reason to get out of bed. Boobs, belly, butts. Here's boobs, bellies, and butts too.
All right.
I'm cruising through life as a 4 foot tall man. The reason for this I just can't stand. I don't mean to imply that it's driving me nuts. 'Cause I live in a world of boobs, bellies, and butts. There's a high-powered machine right under my ass. My hair trigger fingers right next to the gas. The power's unleashed when I yank the stick down. My tires burn rubber as I tear up the town. Swerving and turning, bobbing and weaving. Pedestrians stare with their eyes disbelieving. In my flaming black chair, there's a style that I flout. 'Cause if you can't stand up, then you gotta stand out. I'm not a condition. I'm not a disease. I'm simply a man who is bent at the knees. I'm not about pity. I'm not about pain. I'm not full of courage. I'm not full of shame. I like to write poems full of wisdom and wit. Some people think that I'm just full of guts, but I'm not. Simply living my life in a world of boobs, bellies, and butts. Yeah! I forgot where boobs were for a minute. Unless that was a cell phone. A giant boob, man. Boob. Oh, God. Let me see. This is kind of a fun one. Thank you.
I can find the original one on YouTube.
I used to do this poem. I used to go into schools a lot and perform. And I'd have the, now a lot of times when you perform in schools, the kids know a poet's coming. They think it's going to be boring. It's just going to be awful. And so I would have this prepared announcement that the teacher would read. She'd say, "Hello, students. I'd like to welcome John Kramer. His poetry has been described as dreamy, heartfelt, and poignant. And now here to get you in touch with your inner self for the next hour, John Kramer." Well, you know, it's the time of spring, and I'd like to do a romantic love poem for all of you. I know that's what you're all thinking about at this moment. Spring has sprung, new life has begun. Basking in the warming sun, April breeze blows through my hair. Sitting here without a care, birds return with chirping sounds, flowers blooming from the ground. How I've longed to see this sight. After months of cold, it feels so bright. I was trapped in my house. I just had to get out. My spring fever was bad. I was ready to shout. But that moment's finally arrived and tranquility is here. And there's nothing like the sound of noise from your neighbor's John Deere. The noise of weed whackers, vacuums, lawn edgers and blowers, chainsaws and tillers. Of course, those darn mowers. The neighborhood's full of loud outdoor grown-up boys who can't play the blade with their loud outdoor toys. The noise fills the air. There's no place to hide. Peace for the weary is found only inside. Back to the house I march, and with a loud slam of the door, tranquility returns to my world once more. Tranquility returns to my world once more. That was a fun tranquility returns to my world. I did have a toy chainsaw that I pulled out as a prop, which was kind of fun. one time I pulled it out, this girl almost fell out of her seat because she was not expecting a chainsaw to be wielded in front of her face. Now, you know, I get controversial sometimes with my poetry. Well, here's one of them here. No, actually, this was, what was that? Oh, I remember. I used to run another open mic, actually, called the Riverbank Poetry Project. And we brought in guest artists. And probably one of our most unusual appearances was from a chimpanzee that did poetry. Actually, in this case, it was a bonobo. And I'm just going to introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, Bonzo the Bonobo. Thank you. This poem is called Make Love, Not War. Make love, not war. You wish it was true. Well, it is if you're a bonobo. That's what we like to do. We're horny, lusty monkeys who don't have time to fight. Instead of getting all pissed off, we do it day and night. Unlike our primate cousins, unruly chimpanzees, we bonobos do it on the ground or way up in the trees. Rather than plotting dirty deeds or who to battle next, we bonobos sit around with our clans having wild sex. Single, double, triple, homo or hetero, we do it any way we can to keep retention low. Now you might think such behavior is perverted and most vile, but it's really not that crazy if you think about it a while. You see, we bonobos substitute sex for aggression, while men resort to rage and repression. When people see bonobo ways, they say we're morally corrupted. But what about your bloody wars and all the lives destructed? So if you see yourself in the jungle and you find yourself a jumping, fear not, it's just a bonobo. And that's your leg he's humping.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
You need a Harley.
That was special. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't quite say that. But that's it. We'll just move on. Let me see. It's okay to make mistakes while you're doing poetry. You just try to learn from your mistakes. I've made multiple mistakes. I work at a college and we were having a diversity type day or whatever. And I thought I'd write a poem about, a different type of culture or whatever. And I came up with this one called Geisha Girl and Sumo Man. Thunder thighs stomp on the ground, bulbous bellies big and round, diapered men of massive girth, sumo warriors shake the earth. Tiny footsteps, tiny feet, bowing gently when they greet. Perfumed bodies, skin so fair, geisha girls, they walk on air. They battle in a ring of clay, from ancient times to modern day, their size and strength, it does astound. Sumo warriors shake the ground. Graceful dancer plucks the strings. Kimono wearing caged bird sings. Snow white face with blackened hair. Geisha girls, they walk on air. Silken robes with floral seams. Grunting rhino crash machines. Icons from a foreign land. Geisha girl and sumo man. So anyhow, I sent that poem to my brother, who lives in Japan, and he translated it, over there. Put it on some internet message boards, whatever. Well, some people thought it was kind of quaint and humorous. Many people found it a gross oversimplification of revered Japanese characters, icons, kind of like an assault on the cultural identity. It got picked up in the media and very controversial. I was pretty much on the bad list from Japan, and the Japanese poetry community got involved, and they responded to my poem to put me in my place. And my brother translated it and sent it back to me. And here's what they wrote. Biker chick and redneck man. At NASCAR tracks throughout the land, he stands and cheers with beer in hand. A red and white Budweiser can, strike a pose for redneck man. Party on! On the back of a Harley where it's loud and dusty, sits a tube-top girl who's big and busty. If she's drunk enough, she'll flash you quick. She's the naughty-body biker chick. Out of a green skull tin, he takes a dip and packs it in his lower lip. He spits into an old Bud can. Tobacco juice and redneck man. From her perch on the back that they call the bitch pad in white leather. From her perch on the back that they call the bitch pad in black leather chaps and white lace, she is clad. A Marlboro dangles with ashes to flick. It's the fashion and style of the chic biking chick. Cleavage shots with tattooed roses, rebel yells and beer bong hoses, icons from the great heartland, biker chick and redneck man. No, that's terrible news. I'm sorry to say. Redneck man, he passed away. An accident, it seems, with a really strange twist. And the last words he said were, "Hey yo, watch this!"
Entertainment, frivolity, and free snacks. Get your free snacks. Got lots of them. We got Earth-defying coffee or gravity-defying coffee right over there. A special batch. I'm going to make them in small ones, but I'll tell you what, you're very fortunate if you drink that coffee tonight. It's a beautiful thing, coffee. And we got cookies, of course. Not quite homemade, but nevertheless, they're free, damn it. I always say my standards are significantly lower when things are free, right?
Speaking of that, however, we do have a donations hat. The Indiana Jones leather hat over in the corner there. And just like the preacher man said, don't just give till it feels good and then give a little more, right? Anyways, let's see, we got all kinds of other performers. Who's next? Who's the next contestant? You, sir, back there in the audience. Might you be a performer or just a spectator?
I think spectator.
You know what? Our spectators are just as important as our performers. Because without spectators, who gives a shit, right? Let's see. Absolutely. Sorry to put you on the spot. I have a tendency to do that. He's like, I'll never come back to this fucking event again. That goddamn MC.
Ultimately, it's good.
Yeah, it's.
Retired.
Let's see. What about Grace? How would you feel about coming up next? All right, you want to do it? All right, well, give it up for Grace. All right, make a lot of noise for Grace.
The turning of the earth, the distance of the sun, the waning of warmth, dry stems and leaves, brittle and beautifully colored, falling from glory to grace the ground, to rest and rot and return to the soil. Black sky full of broken dreams, void in silence, vacuum in solitude, and loneliness when the solitude becomes suffocating. Picking up pieces of our shattered hearts, and they won't stick together again. Silent screams and aching, desire and longing, grief and groaning, tears poured out to the point of emptiness, and then waiting to be filled. This is my last one. Before I read my last one, I will tell you I hope to be back next month with a much longer one that I've written and I'm very excited about. It just needs like 2 stanzas tweaked, but I'm hoping to get that done by next month because I'm really excited about my next one, which was written the same day as this one under very interesting circumstances. But if I get that finished by next month, I'll kind of give a background story. I will stand through torrents of rain and the wildest of winds. I am rooted. And that is all.
That audience is downright rowdy. They really are, but we always love having them out. That was nice, Grace. Thank you so much. Love your words. Gosh, I'm thinking Mr. Edwards should go next. What do you think, Mr. Edwards?
I think I agree with you.
You think you agree? All right, give it up for Tony Edwards. Tony Edwards. This mic feels kind of...
All right, hello everyone. Okay. Is this picture? There it goes. All right. So today. So today, I'm going to be presenting about like a 10-minute video. So I do a series on YouTube called WTF for me, and it's a series where I review several different things from music to video games, in movies and stuff like that, and I make a little twist by incorporating like a story going through all of it. So in the current story arc where it's at now, there's this character called Onyx, and he's messing with the character Marineman, who's the reviewer, sending them all this stupid stuff to review, force them to review these things for some unknown means to Marineman. He doesn't understand why it's happening or what's going on. He just does it. But this is what he does. He reviews things and he likes to show off these things to people. So today I'm going to be showing off this video. The runtime's about like 10 minutes, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Yours will be criticizing me. Ours will be criticizing you. Ours will be harder on myself. You'll never know how I truly have felt. Makes you wanna say, this thing really does suck. Makes you wanna say, even things from the past. Makes you wanna say, this is the worst thing I have seen. Makes you wanna say, what the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine?
The NES Mini was introduced in 2016. Fans of the Nintendo Entertainment System rejoiced as they could play classic NES games in HD without having to download software off the eShop or get it through emulations. It was incredibly popular, so popular it was hard to find. So you could go to eBay, people are selling it for 80 bucks, but what if it's a scam? Well, speaking of scams,
People created fakes to make the system look identical to the NES Mini. And that's what I have here today. This is a bootleg NES Mini. It looks close, but it just says entertainment system on it. Now, if you were the average boomer or something, you could mistake this as the actual NES Mini, or just settle with this as it's the closest thing you could find to getting the actual thing. But is it good? I don't know. Let's hook it up and find out.
Anyway, look at the controller. It looks normal other than the big two obvious extra buttons being T, B, and TA. These are burst turbo buttons, kind of like how the NES Max controller had turbo buttons. Well, this system had them by default. Cool, but it's burst like I said. I tried Contra and yeah, it's burst. So yeah, the controller kind of sucks, but it gets the job done. Anyway, let's look at the games on here. Oh my god, there are 620 games on this system. Is this the entire NES library? Well, after scrolling a bit, I found Legend of Kage and Friday the 13th listed twice. So no, it's not the entire NES library, but where the fuck do I begin though?
620 games? The fuck? Imagine buying this thing into the legit NES Mini, but you get an ass ton, I mean like a shit ton of bootlegs, mistitled games sprinkled with shitty arcade ports of like Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong. But seriously, does it surprise you? I mean, really, does it? I mean, I guess the good thing about this is that it has full NES games that I can review later on, like Milon's Secret Castle and Friday the 13th and Double Dragon. But does it have the classics like Super Mario Bros. And Castlevania? No. But it has Mario Bros. And Dr. Mario. It's like the developer for this console wanted to make a quick buck, but didn't want Nintendo to sue them for selling their ROMs. So we get The Legend of Kage and Double Dragon. And speaking of Double Dragon, let's go to our first game, which is a Double Dragon bootleg called Bruce Lee 2. Alright.
When you first start the game, the first thing you ask yourself is that Bruce Lee? This orange buff motherfucker? He seems like he has a headband like he's Rambo or something. But anyway, like I said, it's a clone or bootleg of a Double Dragon game. It controls well enough. You punch with A and kick with B and jump with the up on the D-pad, which I think is fine since you fight in this game. Actually, For our first game, it's kind of fun. There's a timer though, but it resets on stage change and after every death, so it's fine. I got to this big motherfucker, and he looks like Billy the Exterminator on ketamine, and he shoots out of his mouth and he just kills you. I hit continue and it sets you all the way back. Yeah, no thanks. Okay, that wasn't terrible. It could have been worse. But I mean, come on, it's not like E.T. or Fallout 76. But let's look at this Pikachu game. It might be a good game. It's Tetris. Good old puzzle game Tetris. But look, there's Pikachu. I wonder if Ninja's with him. Yo, Ninja, what the fuck you say to me, you little shit? Wait. Isn't Tetris already on here? Yeah, it's game 601. Okay. Fuck it. Yeah, it's just Tetris. Why do we have a bootleg Pokemon version of Tetris if Tetris is already on the system? Is it to give it some false sense of variety or something? I don't understand it. It's like having Halo built on the same system, or you could go play Splitgate that's also built on the same system. And yes, I know I mentioned Halo and like Kingdom Hearts a lot, and it's getting old, but these games are copycat pieces of shit. Games that are getting old for me as well. Fuck it, whatever. Whatever I fucking just said. What's the next fucking game? Spartan X! Oh yeah, it's yet another Double Dragon ripoff where it has the same controls as Double Dragon. But this version is Oz and they just gang up on you and... Why did they use that sound? It was actually low-key funny. Alright, next game. So the next game is Mario 10. That's one of the 620 games titles that stood out to me, so let's go with it. It starts off with a cutscene and the player character looks normal, except it's Luigi's head slapped onto it. They couldn't get Super Mario Bros. On this console, but they could do that. Okay. Yeah, bet Nintendo is happy about that one. It's a standard platformer. You jump with A and attack with B. The special attack at the bottom is done with up and B. Near the end of the first stage, you fight a fucking tiger. Earlier, you're fighting ninjas. Yeah, there's frogs, but they give you special abilities. Talking about outrageous fucking enemies. Look at this. Flying green bendy straws spinning around like helicopters? Who's throwing these straws? A snake in a pot? So let me get this straight. This is a bootleg Mario game where you fight ninjas, frogs, tigers, helicopter bendy straws, where they're being thrown by snakes. I wish I could make this up. Not even in my wildest imagination could I think of something so random such as this. I'm baffled. Like, not to the fact that they only have spinning bendy straws going across the entire stage all the way to you, but a snake is throwing them. How is the snake throwing them? It doesn't have hands! Anyway, the real stage boss is a statue that has grabby hands like some sort of pervert. What's it trying to do? Fill up Luigi's balls? The special stage has you jumping on clouds. The more clouds you jump on, the more points you get. The thing is, it's auto-scrolling and the momentum feels weird here. I can't get the hang of it. There's another auto-scrolling section where you have to have fast reflexes to make it through the stage. It's hard to plan out jumps because once again, the fucking momentum is fucking floating feeling. Also, something I neglected to mention is that you only get one life. Yeah, this 5 continues, but only one life. Yes, one life. Can you imagine beating any game in one life? Like Mario, Sonic, Double Dragon, Castlevania, Contra, Galaga, Donkey Kong, or any other game new or retro? Like, cool. The game, with its continues, place you on the stage where you left off. But that doesn't change the fucking fact that you go back. That's one of my many many pet peeves about gaming is being punished and being forced to replay parts of the game because you died. A modern game in recent memory that I can think of that does this is Elden Ring. Any of the other Souls games really does this as well. Fighting in an area that you've gone through just to die, and you spawn at the last resting point or the last save point. If you die in a boss fight, you spawn the last resting point, making you go through the whole area back to the boss and fight the boss. Same here with this fucking game. You die and you go back. But I gotta be careful when criticizing Elden Ring. The elitists will come after me. And then I'll be like Quantum TV. This lava stage cost me all of my continues. There are these firebirds that block the way, these bald motherfuckers that shake the screen, and not to mention the lava down below. This is only the second stage and all my continues are gone. Fuck this. That's it. You get the point. The fake NES Mini is filled with bootlegs, multi-listings, or arcade ports, but hey, let's look at the bright side. The AtGames Sega Genesis was filled with, like, puzzle games and brain teasers. From my knowledge, this had none, or maybe very few. I couldn't find them. So I guess we can say this system is decent. It's no legit NES Mini, don't get me wrong. If I spent $80 on eBay for one of these and I got this, I'd be pissed. It makes me think, how did I get this? That son of a bitch.
How much was that system, Tony?
I think my aunt got it for about $80, like
Oh, yeah.
on eBay.
How many games did it have on it?
It had 620, but most of them were double listings.
Wow.
Most of them were double listings, bootlegs of other games that were hacked to make it seem like it was another game. So one of the games I reviewed at the end was Mario 10, was actually a whole other game, but they just slapped Luigi's head on the player.
I think that's brilliant, actually. Who manufactured it?
I had no idea.
That is even better. Like, to me, 600 some games with that sort of creativity and ingenuity, hell, for only $80 is a steal.
I guess so, but like, but the thing is, it's like, would you want that, or would you want the actual Nintendo produced?
I think I would get that.
The actual Nintendo.
No, the knockoff.
No, do you want the knockoff? No, I would not want, like, if,
you know, Tony, come on.
like, the thing is, the system had many problems, like, not having Super Mario Bros., none of them, and they had very few actual, like, interesting games that would stand out. But yeah, that was like the whole point of the video is like, hey, here's a system that is trying to prey on people, that's trying to be a scam. Because people are looking for the actual NES Mini to relive their childhood, you know.
And I'd be the sucker that would fall for it.
I mean, you know what, if you didn't know, if you, like, you look at the images on eBay, and I scrolled for a little bit, trying to, like, research a bit, there are some that are blatantly like, okay, this is the system that's the bootleg, 620 games are listed, all, like, the controller ports look different and stuff, and it's obviously not made by Nintendo because nowhere is the Nintendo name on the system. The controller looks different. It's literally a bootleg and it's a scam. And it's sad that people try to prey on the less informed people by putting these systems out. And once they get out there, you are filled with joy at first because holy crap, 620 games, I wasn't expecting that. And then you find out, oh, the retro Friday the 13th game is listed twice, 3, maybe 4 times on the list. And you're like, okay, maybe there's not all these games. So it's just one of those things that are kind of grabbing, and I just wanted to share the system.
Unsuspecting middle-aged dudes like me would be suckered like every time. I'd be like, where's Pitfall at?
Pitfall's not even on it.
It's not even on there?
No, it's not on it.
That's what I know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have like Mario's head on the Pitfall dude. See, when I was a kid, I don't know if some of y'all are older than me or about that. I'd get those 8-inch superhero action figures, and I could have about 100 of them, and I'd line them all down, and I'd swap their heads. So I'd have like Spider-Man's head on the Hulk's body, and I have Wonder Woman's head on Superman's body. I mean, the thing about it is, you gotta get creative with. So I will give them credit for their creativity.
I guess so. I guess.
Thanks, Tony. I love your reviews, man. Game reviews. Give it up for Tony. All right. I think Stephan's got some more songs for us that he said that he wanted to perform. And so I'd ask you to make a ruckus for Stephan again. Give it up for Stephan. He's got some music for us.
This is Rich Koff. Rich and I play the Fringe Coffee House at 918 High Street, just a few blocks away here in Hamilton. It's a coffee house with some of the best coffee and food that you're going to find in the area. Excuse me, and some great people and some great atmosphere. It is entirely populated by returning people, otherwise known as ex-convicts. Are all the employees. It's also a street art gallery. So we encourage you all to come down and go check out the food there, go check out the resources, the groups, the community, and come in on Saturday at noon at lunch and come and listen to us play and come bring a guitar or piano and play along with us. job.
Thank you guys, that's awesome.
Here's another sing-along. Busted flat and battered, waiting for a train. Got as feeling bad as faded as my knees. Bobby found the diesel down just before the rain. Rode us all the way to I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty bed. They saw my body sang blue. The windshield wipers slapping time, holding Bobby's hand in mine. He made every song and drive me. Freedom is just another word for nothing left. Say nothing, so my body let me. Feeling it was easy, Lord, when we sang. You love me, love me. Through the Kentucky coal mine, the California sun, Bobby shared secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather and everything we done, Bobby, baby, she kept me from the cold. One day young yesterday, let us slip away. She's looking for that old G5. I bail my tomorrow for soon yesterday. Come on. Freedom is just another word, nothing left to do. Say nothing, it's all in my body and me. Said freedom was easy, Lord, when the sacrament was good enough for me. Love for me, love for me. Hey, 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 Bobby McGee. I guess we'll do one more song and we'll call it a night. I'm going to do an original. It's basically my impression of living in Hollywood for 10 years and then coming back to wherever we are now. Lord led me to the eastern end of the corn here in beautiful Ohio. And I'm stuck in the belly of this way. Don't know how I got here. What did I do? It was wrong. Last thing I remember was happily asleep at the bottom of the floor. Oblivious to all the hell around me I had called. Oh God, I've been running so long. Thought I got away from you, but no. Guess you put me here too long. That's the very last line in the book of Jonah, from some collection of books everyone calls the Bible. One more. After all distances traveled, seems so strange to be back here. All my friends have families and houses, no, the lights in line are me. All these people seem so happy with their ordinary lives. All these people seem so happy with their ordinary lives. Seem so happy with their life. Why can't I? Seem so happy with their life. Why can't I? Alright, I didn't really like that one, so let's, anybody got a request we can finish up with?
Johnny Cash.
Alright, let's do that one.
Sorry.
We're gonna finish off with my warm-up song.
Yeah.
Well, I hear that train come, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging, and that train keeps on moving on down the sand road. Well, when I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with gun. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And I hear that whistle, I had my head in grind. Well, I bet they rich folks eating in a fancy dining hall. They're probably drinking coffee, smoking big cigar. Well, I know I had this coming. I know I can't be free. People keep on moving, and that's what it's all to me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, that railroad train of mine, I bet they'd move on a little farther down the line. Far from the prison, it's way out on the state. And I let that old soul go my blues away.
Yeah.
This has been Creativa and Convergence of Creative Vision live on Facebook Live and on Twitch. We are here once a month, every second Saturday of the month. And you have anything else you want to finish us off with, Randy?
We got a couple more performers, Stephen.
You got a couple more?
Yeah, man.
Did not know that.
You know it, bro.
Sorry, I thought we were finishing.
No,
All right,
yeah.
we're not done yet. So we're gonna, what's the word for that? This is a curtain call. Let me go over and turn on the applause sign so they can call people back from work.
Hey, you're on fire tonight, boy. I tell you what, give it up, Stephen, for cheer. Yeah. Hey, what now? Some damn good music. I like your original a lot too. Nice. I'm gonna do one more poem or two. John, you wanna do another one, or you?
I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about it, see how you
Yeah.
feel? Aaron, were you wanting to perform? You normally do a breakdancing routine, no? My lovely girlfriend here, she definitely does not want to perform, and she has laryngitis. So, but that shouldn't interfere with your ability to breakdance. She's like, shut up. All relationships are conditional, Randy. Don't you know that, silly boy?
Conditioning on whatever she says.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do one more poem. I have not been
Conditioning
writing.
on what she tells me to do.
I haven't been really writing much lately. But I wrote this one not too long ago, and I actually kind of like it. Now, you know, like with anything else you do creative, sometimes you'll do something you like, sometimes you do stuff you don't like. And I certainly have a number of poems that are like, eh. But I wrote this one recently, and I actually kind of like it. I'm hoping I'll write something that I like in the near future. Maybe this will inspire it. This one's called Sleeves. Toss cash at mama at the Unco Theater. I got my ticket from a greasy smile, missing tooth, 1977, old New York City. 42nd Street, Times Square, XXX cherry bombs, kinky thrill, and frisky nymph. Trench coat stands spunked a lot at this popular porn palace. Front rows, mid rows, back this one night, I think he marked all three with his signature money shot. Jesus saved Steve out front of the garbage street. Sometimes he'll switch signs to the end is near. We had a coffee one morning and discussed geopolitics. I found out that Steve is actually an atheist and a comedian. The End of the World gig at the ANCO gives him good source material for those nights at the Improv. Where's my material, I asked. He suggested I get my own thing, something novel. Said tourists like to have their photos taken at the Statue of Liberty and the World Trade Center. Told me to get a cheap used Polaroid at Lewis's Pond. Also randomly added to try the leather scene at the Ramrod Club. Might have more luck taking photos there. The mayor's always talking about cleaning up this town. Blah, blah, blah. The jackass is the biggest and smelliest prostitute in this sleazy town. Where's my material? Won't find it if things are all scrubbed. I talked with Lisa, a whore from LA who just moved to New York City. She said that things here seem more real. Ha, I said, yeah. It's how we like it, the Big Apple. She's doing tricks for super cheap if I was interested. Not really, I said. Said she thought that she was headed to the big screen when she was 16, 40 now and not so sure. Her foot reached my crotch, and I said, we all have our own marquees, but we just gotta find them. She liked that, and said she would give me a hand job for nothing. I retorted that my own hand was free. Made her laugh. We were friends for about 6 months. Ended up talking about Star Wars and how that Luke looked like he was packed downstairs. Leo was sexually repressed and Solo was a pimp and Chewie a gimp. But later, New York's finest found her in 3 pieces in a dumpster behind Mickey's. Sebastian was my age, 46, been a Mormon for years. Now excommunicated, tried to get 3 wives, didn't work out quite like he was expecting, ended up with 2 kids, child support, and more alimony than he could pay in 2 lifetimes. Said he wanted to inherit the celestial kingdom, but well, figured out that maybe Satan was more entertaining.
life without coffee and beer wasn't much for him, I raised my hiney and agreed, if God can't get drunk every once in a bit, then God can't or won't give it up. I mean, now that I think about it, God must have the biggest dick in the cosmos. But is he powerful enough to lift it? And when and why would he use a condom? These heavy questions haunt even the worst TV heads, the most disingenuous, fever-distracted among us. I, for one, think God is a player, a first-rate con. Tells you when you're purty in one breath and tries to slip you a Mickey in the next. That's just me. I got daddy issues. At least that's what my shrink told me. But I need material, something to be detected, no, appreciated by aliens on planet X somewhere, someday, after hard-earned memories have weathered, something to remind me what I did that was so vital. On some blank screen in a spinny, dizzy UFO, far, far away above the silent sky. My luck? The little green guys will shove some interstellar mini Polaroid up my bum. Instead, and leave me high, dry, and sore on a lonely country road. Now being able to answer the perennial question, are we alone in the universe? With a definite hell no. Don't you see how I can't walk straight? Thank you very much. All right, John, you want to give it another whack, or are you going to turn it over to Lauren, or what you want to do?
I got one more.
You got one more in you?
Yeah, I wasn't going to do this one, but I have to.
Feel like the Spirit's moving you?
Well,
Yeah, if the Spirit's moving you, brother, you get right on up. Give it up for John Kramer again.
yeah, that was fascinating. Randy, you were pondering about God's penis. And if he'd be able to lift it due to the immense weight. And his poem is called Relics. In Europe, any church worth its weight in wine has one. They come in all shapes and sizes, from entire bodies to a brown blob of blood. Witness the mystery of the macabre. Body parts dubiously obtained, garrulously displayed, and devoutly venerated. In a truly bizarre, yet socially acceptable manner. Forearms, feet, hands, teeth, fingers, skins, rib bones, heads, organs, the right hand of Saint Stephen, the blood of Saint Lorenzo, the tongue and voice box of Saint Anthony, and the holy ground of relics, the foreskin of Jesus, aka the Holy Prepuce. So desired and revered, it's the only piece of Jesus left on earth. At one point in history, as many as 18 churches claimed to possess it simultaneously. Jesus was apparently well endowed, extremely well endowed. But would you expect anything less from the Son of God? What is it about body parts in glass boxes that draws pilgrims and tourists from all around the world? And why is it if you change the circumstances slightly, like saying having a severed arm in your refrigerator, the public freaks out? And your picture ends up on the front page of the paper. That wasn't me, by the way. But who am I to be all high and mighty when I've got my share of skeletons in my closets? Actually, Actually, I should say skeletons in my dresser drawer. Human bone fragments, to be more specific. This is bones from people who lived off the land, people of the earth who farmed the earth, hunted the earth, worshiped the earth, moved the earth, mound builders, fortress formers, serpent shapers, hope wells, bones entombed in mountain earth for centuries, then rested by the blade of a bulldozer. Parking lots don't need mounds. And thus you were plucked from the debris pile by my hands, held in amazement, but then seemed lingered in a shoebox for decades. Seeing the light of day only in rare moments, when I cracked open the lid, exposing you to wide-eyed children, soon to be scared witness from my gross story about the neighborhood being built on Indian burial ground and how ghostly warriors can be seen passing through the walls at night. But now I take you, ancient relic, out of the darkness and into the light. You have emerged to amaze, astound, inspire, puzzle, provoke. Though someday you shall return to the darkness of earth, and someday, so too shall I. I haven't really figured out what to do with those yet. I would like to put them back in the ground, but I just haven't got around to it. And maybe I just don't know the most reverent way to do it. I got them when I was, I think in the 9th grade, they were excavating an Indian mountain in Pisgah to put in a complex. And it was a brush job, man. They just took a dozer and shaved off parts of it, but they took out a couple bodies. And that's where I found the bones in a pile off the side. They found a lot of other bodies in the mountains. Pretty fascinating. There was a high-ranking person, and he was buried with 2 females next to him. So they sacrificed his wives to go with him. And then there was one that was on top of the mountain, but his head had moved about 3 feet because they used to plow right over the top. And the plow moved the head. And then they were also able to determine that they traded, pretty long distances up to the Great Lakes and other areas by different types of shells or jade or whatever was in the mountain. Anyhow, I'll do one more. All the world's stage, and we are merely plays. Some are content to wait in the wings, while some are dragon slayers. You alone can chart your course. You alone can set your goal. But you'll find twists and turns along the road on which you have to roll. You may have to climb a hill or 2, or scale a mountain soaring high. And though the task may seem impossible, you'll never know unless you try. Besides, when challenges confront us, if we turn and walk away, our moment on the stage is short. There might not be another day. So seize the moment you're living in and revel in its glory. The play of life is on stage now, and you direct a story. All the world's a stage. Each day the act is new. So tread the boards with all you've got. The spotlight's now on you.
It was very impressive, John. It reminded me of a strange object I purchased from this grizzled peddler back in the early 80s in San Francisco. He sold me this monkey's big toe. He told me it possessed weird arcane powers. I can't really talk much about it, but it's pretty strange.
It is.
Well, weird shit happens every once in a while, right?
It could have really been Steve's big toe.
I mean, it's just shit. Do that laugh thing again. I fucking love that, man. That shit, I could listen to this all night. We need to do something like that last time. We need something like the laugh tracks from like Seinfeld, you know what I mean, to tell people when to laugh.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
This is literally studio applause, studio audience
I
applause.
just think that's the best thing ever made. Hey, look, I'm so excited that Lauren. Absolutely. Lauren the Black is a mysterious man in his own right, with a lot of very strange tales I bet he could share, especially around the campfire late at night. And would probably make your hair on your neck stand up, and it might make you not sleep for a few nights. Alas, that's for another Creativa you'll have to come back to. Well, Lauren's a good dude, and he's a fun guy, and like I said, he's just a Renaissance guy too, and I know whatever he has for us to wrap up the night is going to blow you away, and it might give you nightmares. It really might. So make a lot of screeching noises for Lauren the Black.
Don't lose your head again.
Really, this thing is short. Oh, I'm not going to be all that full of stories tonight. I mostly sing. I have done a spoken piece or two, but again, I'll have to bring that to another Creativa. I finished my first set with my own words to a melody, if I only had a, that you're very familiar with. And on occasion, I do write entirely original songs. There will be one coming up shortly. But I'll start back over with some poetry that I attempted to memorize another lifetime ago. And instead it became a song. So the words may be familiar to some of you. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea. There lived a maiden whom you may know by the name of Annabelle. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love. I, my Annabelle, with a love that the wicked seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. Yes, this was the reason that long ago in a kingdom by the sea, a wind came out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabelle. So that her highborn kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels not so happy in heaven when damning her and me. Yes, this was the reason, as all men know, in that kingdom by the sea, that the wind blew out of the cloud by night, chilling my belly. But the Lord was stronger by far than the love of those who are older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle. And the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle. And the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle. And so all the night I lay down by the side of my darling, my knife and my bride in a sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. That's your other part. And Randy may have mentioned, I've been quite successfully portraying a vampire, imagine that, on the USS Nightmare. And for those of you who are looking to hire an MC, singer, songwriter, performer, I mostly only go where I'm invited. So that's how that works. And there will be a vampire song coming up next. I'm going to skip over the stage song about Anne Rice, may she rest in peace. But there's another song from an album that is far too old for me to be singing these words again. In Europe and America, there's a growing feeling of hysteria, conditioned to respond to all the threats and the rhetorical speeches of the Soviets. Mr. Putin says we will bury you. I don't subscribe to this point of view, to be such an ignorant thing to do, if the Russians love their children too. How can I save my little boy from Oppenheimer's deadly toy? There is no monopoly on common sense on either side of the political fence. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. What might save us, me and you, is if the Russians love their children too. There isn't no historical precedent to put the words in the mouths of the presidents. There's no such thing as a winnable war. It's a lie we won't believe anymore. Mr. Biden says we will protect you. I don't subscribe to this point of view. Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too. Let's see. Now, another song about heartbreak and loss. This one's about vampires. Or from the perspective of one. I died so many years ago. You can make me feel like it isn't so. Why you come and be with me? I think I finally know. You're scared, ashamed of what you feel, and you can't tell the ones you love, no they couldn't deal Whisper in a dead man's ear doesn't make it real. That's great, I don't wanna play, 'cause being with you touches me more than I can say. But since I'm only dead to you, I'm saying stay away. Let me rest in peace. Rest in peace. Let me get some sleep. Let me take my love and bury it in a hole 6 foot deep. I can lay my body down, but I can't find my sweet release. So let me rest in peace. You know, you got a willing slave, and you just love to play the part. You might misbehave. Until you do, I'm telling you, stop visiting my grave. Let me rest in peace. I know I should go, but I'll follow you like a man possessed. There's a traitor here beneath my breast, and it hurts me more than you've ever guessed. If my heart could beat, it would break my chest. But I can see you're unimpressed, so leave me be. Let me rest in peace. Let me get some sleep. Let me take my love and bury it in a hole 6 foot deep. I can lay my body down, but I can't find my sweet release. So let me rest in peace. Why won't you let me rest in peace? There's the Bobby Bands. All right, second to last, not least, I've had the great fortune to work for over a decade with local belly dancers under the tutelage of one Zahara. And several years back, she had a world-renowned traveler named Ariella stop by. Ariella is out of San Francisco, also teaches in Transylvania, dances in Japan. And after seeing me sing Madonna and some other strange things, she asked me to come out and MC perform at Shadow Dance, which is about 13 years before COVID, down in California. World travel dance performers, puppeteers, all manner of dark and beautiful things, and this guy up there. And so for my first year, and every single time I've gone since, which is 6 years, and hopefully this year we'll bring it back together for number 7, I wrote a song for the show. For those of you who were here earlier and heard If I Only Had a Soul, that was semi-autobiographical. This is completely autobiographical. Angel of night, man by day, to walk amongst this kind I pray, to share with them my gifts and power, to bring a brighter day and hour, and cast my shadow far and wide into this endless night. For though I bear a blackened heart, I bring you boundless light. A haunted old house, divided and dark, set aglow from the ghost and occasional spark. How long has it been since this soul was lived in, as we wait for the breaking of dawn? Shattered glass filters past, razor streams awake my dreams. Shadow dance, shadow play, greet the dawning of the day. Fallen and broken free, wandering and lost, tangled in nightmares and careless of the cost, screaming to the looking glass with days darker still, a monster and phantom of fear, force and will. Shadows grow, shadows fall, Dawn to dusk, tell tales of all. Shadows play, as shadows dance. Silhouettes of circumstance. Darkness dies, the sun will rise. Begin again before our eyes. That was real, by the way. No offense to the digital applause, it is appreciated as well. I want to take a brief moment to thank once again Randy and the people of Creativa for inviting me here. I'll try not to make it another decade before I come back. I'm not getting any younger despite appearances. I want to thank Stephan on sound and Tony on visual. And many years ago, I was a child care worker, who was known at the time as the Big Goth Nanny. And I also have a tendency to have my boss's voice in any job that stuck in my head. And one night, this little child's voice was just. And so I wrote something to help say goodbye at the end of the day, and it turned into this. It's called the Goodbye Song, and it's my goodbye note. Goodbye again, we've had such fun, I have to say. Goodbye, my friends, we'll have more fun another day. And every time we say goodbye, I know another time and place will say hello. Goodbye again, each second ticks around the dial. Oh, crying friend, a minute's just a little while. So have some fun and while the hour's away, I'm sure to meet again another day. Goodbye again, it's time to close the special day. Time's fly, the weeks will end, and there's more time to play. As months turn into seasons, never fear, I'm sure we'll meet again another year. Goodbye again, we've had such fun, I have to say. Goodbye, my friends, we'll have more fun another day. And every time we say goodbye, I know another time and place will say hello. Thank you, Creativa. Thank you, Twitch. Good night.
I'm running low on battery, Randy, so we gotta hurry up.
Well, that was really special. Thanks so much, Lauren, for coming out. It really was awesome. I love your music. And you're such a creative person. Yeah, please don't wait another decade, for goodness sake. I know yeah. But that's awesome. We had Creativa over in Covington at one time. And
St. Patrick's Day.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Creativa's been around. Like it's been at Zombie Mall. We were Barracoat Sims times. We were at Pete's. It was Pete's Coffee House, wasn't it, Lauren?
And St. Patrick's Day, you're rolling on right outside.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day, and you know what? It was a packed house. Two floors of people, elbow to elbow. Man, that's lots of drinking and. Well, at the time we had two Creativa locations going on. We had, I think we were at the Zombie Mall at the time in Cincinnati, and then we had the Covington location. We were really ambitious. At one time, we actually had two Creativas. Yeah. So, you know. But yeah, anyways, thanks so much. I want you to all, again, please, lights on the fly. Well, that was freaking awesome. And check Lauren out at the USS Nightmare. And even though he says no, we're all going to say yes. And I bet that's a lot of fun. And thanks to all of you for coming out and enjoying Creativa with us. We're not, we only exist because of all of you. And we hope to be doing this for another 14 years. Just tell your friends and random strangers, let them know about us, and share our events, please, on Facebook. And I mentioned to somebody earlier, COVID was kind of rough on us, like it was a lot of people. And as a promoter of many events, a lot of different stuff, I was kind of in a quandary where what happens when a promoter doesn't really want many people to show up? You know what I mean?
So it's like, how do you do that? Well, it's kind of tough for a couple years, and we're gradually getting back together. I think with performers like Lauren, we certainly have a bright future. And with all of our regulars like John and Stephen and Tony and Grace and all the other wonderful people that come out. So, anyways, thanks again for coming out, everybody. Enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Thanks again.